Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Ben, it's a Jazz Ticket Tuesday. Let's give away another pair of tickets. Caller 12 right now, 801-575-ZONE. You're going to get a pair of tickets to see the Jazz, the Grizzlies, opening night tomorrow night at Delta Center, 801-575-9663. Ben, tonight is opening night in the NBA. We've made it a tradition to give our predictions for the NBA season. And we'll go through last year's predictions, too, as we do this. And let's just say that they...
We're exactly right.
No.
Oh, we didn't do well.
I don't know if one of us was more accurate than the other.
Okay.
Though. We can kind of make that judgment as we go along. So we'll start with kind of the broad NBA, and then we'll go to some Jazz stuff.
Okay.
All right? We'll start off with the NBA's most valuable player.
Okay.
Ben, last year you had the Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards.
Okay. A little too early on Ant.
I had Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
I went with the easy pick, and it
worked out.
It did work out.
Yeah,
I was just thinking, I was like, okay, yeah, that was correct.
Yeah, he won his third. He's looking to become the second player ever to win 4 in 5 years. So,
all right, Ben, the MVP of the league this year will be?
Why don't you pick first? Because I might react off of yours.
I'm going to go with Nikola Jokic.
Okay, again, 4th and 5.
He's just capable of putting up, like, numbers win that award most of the time, and he just puts up numbers nobody else does. So
the
Nikola
favorites
Jokic.
are Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Luka. I'm going to buck that trend, and I'm going to go with Jason Tatum.
I thought about it, but he just doesn't get...
He's not going to have the numbers is the problem. I wouldn't be surprised. And here, this is why Jason Tatum's actually really good, even though I seem to discount him a lot. Jason Tatum sacrifices his numbers for his team. He's pretty unselfish.
He is.
He's willing to let other guys shine. Now, he has some flaws. He's really jump shot heavy. He doesn't get to the rim enough. I could see Tatum, after winning a title, having the letdown at the Olympics. Remember, he didn't play at all. Saying, all right, watch this. You want to see who's really good? Watch me. I'm going to go out and I'm going to try and get 32 points a night. I can get 32 points a night, and I'm going to go for that. I don't think Jason Tatum's going to win, but I'm going to go out on a branch a little bit and make a case for him. I think it's probably going to be Shai, because I think the Thunder are probably the favorite to have the best record in the NBA, or at least in the West, and he was, runner-up last year? But I'm going to go out on a whim and say Jason Tatum.
I like the pick because I think that's actually the answer.
Okay.
And he's a two-way guy. But I don't think he'll get the votes.
I don't think he's going to have the stats, is the problem.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get the votes. But I think you could make a really strong argument that he's the best player in the NBA right now.
The hard part for Jokic is the Nuggets are not going to finish with the second-best record in the West, which they did last year, went down to the very last game of the season. And I actually think there's a really high expectation for the Mavericks because they made the finals, and I don't think the Mavericks are a regular season juggernaut.
They're not. I agree with that.
So I think that's going to ding Luka. That's where Shai has a real chance, but it's also why I think Boston needs to be in the conversation. If you're the best player on the best team, you're in the running for the MVP, and I think the Celtics are going to be the best team.
Okay. Rookie of the year last year, we went with the obvious.
Yeah, and we were right.
And we were both correct.
Wemby was great.
This year, I couldn't hate the rookies more.
Okay, I like this rookie class. I know it wasn't that exciting. It's more exciting than last year's where it was Victor and everybody else. This one's hard because we don't know who it's going to be.
Who's going to be impactful? I don't know. You can go first on this one. I know who I'm going to pick, but I'm not confident in it.
I would pick Zachary Rizachet, who was the number 1 overall pick and has looked really good in preseason. He's only played 2 games, except for Quinn Snyder's his head coach, and Quinn's going to bench him.
Yeah, he's not. I don't know how much he's going to play.
Lean into him.
No.
Being the guy. And Alex Sarr, who's really good, is on one of the worst teams in the NBA in the Wizards.
And automatically discount anything that touches the Wizards. In fact, I feel bad for him. He's probably going to have a terrible career.
Yeah, it's too bad he's out there, in all honesty.
Yeah. So I'm not taking either one of those. I discounted.
So do I want to go with the obvious favorite? And the obvious favorite is Zach Edey. Zach Edey's going to start. He's going to get a lot of points. He's productive. He's coming out of college, really NBA ready. But I'm gonna go a different direction again, and I'm going to go with the guy we just saw play really well in Portland. I'm going to go Donovan Clingan. Because I think he's going to do – remember how Walker Kessler got Rookie of the Year votes here in Salt Lake City? I think Donovan Clingan's going to do something similar. And I think Portland's going to be better than people expect. And because they're better than people expect, he's going to get a lot of credit. The same reason Walker got credit. But he's actually going to average like a double-double. And it's just going to be kind of a bunch of guys play okay.
I'm going to go with Stephen Castle
Okay.
for the Spurs, and my reasoning is he's going to get a ton of attention. There's going to be a ton of attention coming because they can't wait to put Big Vic on TV.
He is.
So
You're going to see him a lot.
They're going to watch him a lot, and I think there's a room for artificial production within that San Antonio team. So I think you'll see him have stats.
You got to find a sweet spot of players on decent teams that also have an opportunity to play. Reza Shea's problem is he's on a decent team. Like the Hawks aren't good, but Quinn's going to try and get them to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So they're not going to play him and give him big opportunities to play. Sar's on the opposite end where they're so bad, they're not going to compete for anything, and he's going to rack up stats and everyone's going to say
But
they're
nobody's
empty.
going to watch him, yeah.
So Castle might be in that sweet spot.
That's what I'm saying.
He might be in that sweet spot.
I don't know. I'm not very confident about that.
This is a really hard rookie year to pick. We should pick Edey. Edey's going to win.
I don't think so.
I think Zach Edey's going to win because he's going to average 13 and 10 and play 29 minutes a night.
If you can play him.
And Memphis is going to be the 5th best team in the league or 4th best team.
We're
going to see him on Wednesday night. I'm excited to see him tomorrow.
Big stiff written all over him.
He can really move. He's a little boxy, but he can play.
All right, Ben. Let's get to Coach of the Year. And last year, who won Coach of the Year last year?
It wasn't Tibbs, was it?
Hang on.
Tibbs won 2 years ago.
Let's see.
It was Mark Dagenhall.
Yeah,
yeah,
Mark
yeah.
Dagnall
In Oklahoma
for
City.
Oklahoma City, which
makes sense. It's a
one
good
of
pick.
us predicted.
Who was it?
Me.
Oh, good for you.
And Nick Nurse was Ben's prediction.
Oh. Well, I don't know why I've ever picked that.
Well, if Joel Embiid could stay healthy, they might have had a chance.
All right, who are you taking?
I'm going to go with Joe Mazzulla.
Okay.
I don't think he's necessarily a great coach, but I think he'll have the best record.
I think that's fair. You know what I'm going to go with? I'm going to go Jamal Mosley in Orlando.
Oh, okay. I like that pick, actually.
I think Orlando, they were a little fluky last year. I think adding KCP, though, was really smart. They went out and got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who has been the starting shooting guard on the Los Angeles Lakers championship team and the Denver Nuggets championship team.
Yep.
And they can't shoot threes, and that's all he does. Like, it's just a really smart fit. We talked about how well Oklahoma City went and added like guys who fit what they need. KCP was a really good fit for what they need, experience and three-point shooting. So I think Jamal Mosley gets Orlando. I think they were the 4th seed last year. Maybe they were 5th. I think he gets some home court advantage in the first round.
I like Orlando. Like we've talked about, that's one of my favorite experiments going on in the NBA.
He came as the head coach day one and said, "You're playing defense.
Yeah.
No questions asked. You're playing defense," and he's got them all playing defense. So they're fun. I like Jamal Mosley in Orlando.
I do too. All right, that's a good pick. I'm jealous of it a little bit. All right.
I mean, I think he finished 2nd last year. It's not like it's way out of nowhere. It should be. I mean, Joe Mazzulla should have won it last year.
He really should have. Even though I don't think he's necessarily a great coach.
No, but he took a Boston team and kind of did what Steve Kerr did with the Warriors. He just said, crank up the threes. They did, and they won a title.
True.
That's good coaching. Your job's to win a title. He did.
All right, on to the first coach to be fired, which has got to be my favorite category. And I definitely have a pick here. Last year, Ben said Steve Clifford, and I said Jason Kidd.
I think I was right. I mean,
think
Cliff
you
didn't
were-
make it through the year.
No, I think you might have been right.
I think Cliff was right.
Or no. It was what's his name in Milwaukee.
Oh, that's right. He lasted like 9 games.
Yeah, right. No, he lasted 20, and they had a good record.
Darvin Ham.
No, it
No.
was Darvin Ham's back in
Oh,
Milwaukee.
no, he's back in Milwaukee. Sorry.
He was with the Lakers.
You're right. It's
Whoever Doc replaced.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, put the
Whoever
kibosh on him.
Doc
Came down from Toronto,
usurped.
if I remember correctly. And then Cliff did go shortly after. You're right, though. It was the Bucks coach.
All right, are you first on this one?
Adrian Griffin.
Adrian Griffin. I said Jason Kidd,
Okay.
so I was pretty wrong about
Oh,
that.
mine's recent Hall of Famer Chauncey Billups.
You think it's going to be Chauncey?
The hard part is, again, that if Chauncey's the first coach fired, Donovan Clingan's not going to win Rookie of the Year.
Ooh, you're...
So I'm kind of contradicting myself.
Okay, mine, Ben.
But I am going to go with Chauncey.
I'm going with the Sommelier,
Okay.
J.J. Redick.
Not Greg Popovich, the other local sommelier.
The
or NBA
sommelier podcaster, J.J. Redick. He is wholly unqualified to have that job, but that's not the reason I think he'll get fired. Here's what I think. I think he'll have the stones to actually think he can coach. Like, he'll try to tell LeBron what to do.
Okay.
And LeBron will get sick of that in about 30 seconds and say, get the sommelier out of here. The problem is, have you ever been a roommate with good friends? And not that it always goes badly per se, because I certainly have not had the experience where it always goes badly, but you always come away feeling differently about that person.
Sure.
So LeBron hired his buddy, his wine podcast partner, and I think JJ will come in saying, wow, I could make a real difference here. And LeBron will say, no, dude, I hired you to not do anything. You got a no-show job, dude. Shut your pie hole.
Yeah.
And then I think LeBron will get tired of JJ thinking he's actually the coach, and then he will be fired.
Quickly, I think Mike Budenholzer could be a hot take to win Coach of the Year because Phoenix might play a lot better, but they actually added a lot of pieces. They had a good offseason, and Budenholzer's a good coach. Willie Green with the Pelicans might also get fired because they made the playoffs last year, or at least got close, and Zion was playing well and seemed like they were things were cooking. Someone has to lose games in the West more than they're going to expect because the West is absolutely stacked. And I think the Pelicans are a relatively safe bet to be that team that underperforms, and they fire Willie Green.
All right, Defensive Player of the Year, Ben.
Wemby, yeah.
Last year, you took Brook Lopez.
Way off.
And I took Giannis.
Okay. Rudy won.
Rudy won. You're taking...
Wemby.
Really?
The only reason Wemby doesn't win is if he doesn't play 62 games, which you have to play 62 games now to win these season awards.
You're that confident he's the best defender on the planet?
He's going to average 5 blocks a game. 4.5 blocks a game. Yeah. I think the Spurs are in the play-in. So, and it's because Wemby's as good as he is. Especially defensively. He's still way better defensively than he is offensively. He loves to shoot threes. He can't shoot threes yet.
No, but he's like all soft big players who don't want to be in the lane. So, okay.
Yeah,
but you're just so certain.
Positive, yeah.
All right, I'm going to go with Rudy.
Okay. Winning his 5th. He'd be the first player ever to win 5.
I think Minnesota's going to be pretty good.
I would love if Rudy wins 5, becomes the first player to do it.
The only thing is if he doesn't play, that'll be if they go with different lineups like we saw in the playoffs, where all of a sudden Rudy went from key component to 15 minutes a game, which could happen with Randall, as you pointed out earlier, that could be an awkward fit. So, but I believe in Rudy.
Yeah, so do I.
All right. Last year, Western Conference Finals, Ben predicted Lakers versus Nuggets, and I predicted Nuggets versus Suns.
I got one of those wrong. Lakers did not make it. In fact, the Nuggets didn't make it either.
No, they did not.
I'm going to go with Jeez, this is kind of tough. Give me the Thunder. I guess the Nuggets, because I think Jokic is still better than everybody. Jamal Murray's been really weird since that championship run. But they signed Aaron Gordon to extension. They got Murray his extension. Murray's a little bit hurt, but push comes to shove, I guess I like them more than a lot of teams in the playoffs.
Man, I have the same thing.
Okay.
OKC versus the Nuggets. The Nuggets, because I don't believe in anybody else. Like, I don't know if Minnesota's that good.
Yeah, it's going to take a while to figure out what they're doing.
The Clippers are terrible. The Lakers are terrible. I feel like I don't believe in the Suns, even though maybe the answer is the Suns.
Yeah, maybe the Suns get there, sneak through, but I think Katie's old.
At this point, I think the Nuggets are a better bet.
Yeah, I think they are. I mean, they've got the best player. Jokic can win you a series.
But you and I both love in the Thunder.
Yeah.
All right. Eastern Conference Finals last year, Ben had Bucks versus Celtics. I had Celtics versus Heat. And I know who you're going to go with. I'm going to go with Celtics versus Sixers.
Okay. And I'll go tonight is the preview.
Even though I cannot stand Daryl Morey.
Oh, and the fact that the Sixers are starting the season and Paul George and Embiid are already hurt.
Both hurt already.
Not going to play in the season opener.
But it's not going to be the stupid Knicks.
I'll say tonight is the preview of the conference finals.
It's not.
Knicks Celtics.
Why would you think that they are going to be healthy? And I'm not asking this mockingly. Why would you think they're going to be healthy enough to make it that far in the playoffs?
They won't. And that's the thing. Actually, Cat didn't miss games for a while, but has started to miss some games. OG Anunoby always misses games. Jalen Brunson's small and is playing a lot of minutes. You're probably right.
There wasn't anybody left on the team
There
last
wasn't.
year.
There wasn't. They were totally unhealthy.
And that's not an accident. I'm sorry, but it's
But
just
like the
not.
Cavs weren't going to get there.
No.
I think
That's why I'm saying
what
the
Indiana
Sixers.
did was a fluke last year. You know, it might be the Bucks. But Bucks are always hurt too.
But they've
Chris
got
Middleton's
him-
not playing game
and
one.
The Lillard thing didn't work.
It didn't work.
It
No.
didn't work.
So, yeah, there's nobody else I like either.
I'm going with the Sixers because Embiid's good enough to carry him there.
Maybe I should like the Magic more. I picked them for
Oh,
Jamal Mosley.
I
but,
know. I wish I had the stones to do that too.
But no, I'll go with the Knicks and the Celtics.
Okay, Ben, your final.
Celtics,
Last year, by the way, Bucks Lakers. Ben had Bucks Lakers.
whiff.
I
Neither of
had
them got out of the first
I
round.
had Celtics Nuggets.
I'll go Celtics, Thunder.
Oh, you're so lame.
Hey, it's boring.
I know. I've got the same thing. Now.
It is boring. And I've got the Celtics winning.
And I've got the Celtics. Oh, you know what? I'll change it up for the sake of this segment next year. I'll take the Nuggets
Okay.
with the Celtics winning.
There's a real argument that the Thunder won't be able to figure out Jokic. I like Hartenstein. We may have given him way too much credit for playing 42 minutes a night for Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah, he's not that good.
And the Thunder were remarkably healthy last year, and he's already broken his hand and is hurt, so we'll see. Maybe the Thunder aren't as healthy as they were last year.
And last year I predicted the Celtics were going to win. And Ben, you predicted the
Bucks.
Lakers.
I picked the Lakers for the
Ben had
title?
the Lakers for the title last year. Woo!
It came up a little short.
Killing it. All right. Now, last one before we get to the Jazz, and then we've got to hurry, I know. Worst record. Last year, Ben said the Wizards. I said the Hornets.
It was the Pistons.
It was the Pistons.
I
I
think it
don't
was the
think
Pistons again.
I don't think it will be the Pistons.
No,
You
it won't.
do?
No, it won't be the Pistons. It'll be the Wizards.
I'm going with the Trailblazers.
Okay. That would hurt my Donovan Clingan Rookie of the Year vote.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that goes.
No, I think it's going to be the Wiz. They're awful.
They still have your guy though.
Kyle Kuzma?
Yeah.
They have Poole and Kyle Kuzma, and they're
You
just
love
those guys
Poole.
are unserious basketball
All
players.
right. Our first Jazz topic. This is.
Do we want to do this in the next segment?
Okay, we can do it in
Let's
the
wrap
next
the
one.
Jazz.
All right,
Yeah, we
stay
got a
tuned.
few
We'll
minutes.
get to the Jazz coming up next. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.